Ooh, guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but I got some salon paws and put it on my neck because my neck is freaking killing me. But enough of that. I found the perfect combat boots, and they are none other than the Oree, New York Infantry combat boots by none other than Ray himself. Let's get into it. What's up guys, my name is M.Cayabyab. I am a men's fashion enthusiast. I love everything and anything related to men's fashion. I'm talking about thrifting, sneakers, keeping up with fashion trends, literally everything and anything that makes you look good so you can feel good. So if you guys are into any of that, make sure you guys please like, comment, subscribe. And we are on the 1,000 subscriber journey, so make sure you guys subscribe. But we are gonna go ahead and jump start on these combat boots. So before I get started, I just want to give some context as to why I decided to get these combat boots. First things first, I've always been in the market for combat boots. The only problem that I face is that there was numerous problems or little tendencies that I did not like one being the price. The toe part of the boot is weird, the leather or material is weird, or the silhouette is just straight up weird, or maybe it's just too chunky. All of the above. And I was just man, I really want some combat boots. And I actually saw Ray tease these boots, I believe it was either last year or sometime on his Oree, New York Instagram page or on his personal page. If you guys don't know who Ray is, he's a fashion YouTuber who has a brand called Oree, New York. His style could, I guess, from the outside looking in, it looks like he has a style of streetwear and Americana workwear. So if you're into that, check his channel out. I'm pretty sure he could do a better job explaining who he is, his style, and everything else. And to me, it was just oh man, I don't know when it's gonna come out, right? So I ended up buying some cheap H&M Combat boots because it's I wasn't too sure if I really wanted combat boots. But after trying out the H&M Combat boots, I was dude, I need to get me a pair. These are so dope. And finally, Ray decides to drop the boots. I believe it was a month later or 2 weeks later, and I was just dude, I have to get these dang boots. But all said and done, let's just move on to the unboxing portion. So first things first, when I opened the actual box and saw the shoe box, I was god damn, this is huge AF. Which I appreciate, of course, but yeah, what kind of sucked though was when I got it, the shoe box was as big as the packaging box, and it was hard for me to pull the box out, which kind of, to be honest with you, kind of ruined the experience for me, because it's just it sucks to see the shoe box all messed up. I honestly wish that the delivery box or even the shoe box was a little bit smaller. So the box is kind of messed up, but let's just get into it. Oree, New York, black box. As you can see, you have the Oree, New York logo on it. The box has a matte black finish. I don't know if you guys can see some of the scratches on the box. Now for the shoe sizing sticker area, I guess you could say. It has this vintage military workwear look to it. For the designers out there, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it does have this, let me just focus it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it has this computer 90s styled font. I believe they call it liquid crystal typeface to it. So I dig that because it really represents the brand, Oree, New York, obviously. But let's go ahead and just unbox it and see how the insides look. I don't know if you guys know, but the overall box is 100% recyclable. So if you guys are into sustainability or even saving the earth, which I'm pretty sure everyone should be, I strive to do it. You know, recycle your box if you don't need it. So inside the box you have black tissue paper. It's just plain. I really thought it was cool that Oree implemented I think it was like Manhattan or like Oree, New York newspaper inspired tissue paper inside the Manhattan 1 Jordans that he made. I thought that was really cool, and I wish he did that for these shoes, but that's just being very, very nitpicky. But I really thought that was a cool concept when it came to the consumer experience, I guess you could say. But let's go ahead and open this baby up. Oh shoot. Alright guys, so right off the bat I see a Vibram. What would you call this? Like, I wouldn't call it like art or whatever, but it's, I guess like every Oree New York Infantry Combat boot should come with this, and I think this is a cool thing to provide to consumers or for anyone purchasing your products, because it just shows like quality, you know, like, hey, you know, Vibram is part of this shoe, like it's gonna be quality, right? Alright guys, and we have the shoe slash cotton dust bag. It is a 16-ounce organic cotton. This is my first time owning a dust bag or shoe bag, so I mean, quality feels nice. I like this stencil print on it just because it's like, it isn't screen printed and it was actually painted over. I don't know if you guys can tell, but like it has like that vintage Americana military-esque feel to it. Here are the Oree New York Infantry Combat boots. Let's go ahead and move on to the quality of the shoe. Alright, so from my understanding of the shoe, it is actually made from full grain calf leather. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's like pebbling on it. So usually when it comes to like cheaper boots, I feel like they're made out of like smooth leather, and I am a big fan of like the pebbled look. I love that about this. As for the zipper, you do have the YKK zipper handle, I guess you could say, and the actual zipper itself is made out of M8 industrial grade, so that means it's quality, guys, and I am dinging it. You have like the silver finish right here, and then on the actual front part of the shoe you do also have like a brushed silver finish, which is okay to me. I'm a big fan of gold. I don't know if you guys can tell, but you know, like it's a new look for me, and I dig that. Outsole is made from Vibram. I believe the material or style is Montana. As you can tell with the chunky sole look, I mean, this gives it off, guys, and it's not too much to the point where it's obnoxious, but it's something, you know, different for my style for sure, but I honestly like it. There's also contrast stitching. Color is olive green. It looks like it's double stitched. And honestly, guys, when it comes to that stuff, like I'm like whatever about it, as long as if it's like very subtle. It is noticeable. I don't know if you guys can tell, of like it is green, not black or gray, but as long as if it isn't that obnoxious yellow from like Doc Martens, and it actually blends in with the shoe, so it isn't like too noticeable, I guess you could say. And I don't know if you guys can see, but there is the Oree logo on the side of the shoe. I really can appreciate and love the fact that he made it very like subtle in a sense. It's kind of small, so it isn't like obnoxiously big. So love that. You can also see like the coordinates of Manhattan on the tongue of the shoe or boot, I guess you can say. So I like that too. I really don't mind it, to be honest with you, because it's black on black, so it isn't really noticeable. And if you're wearing pants, you're obviously going to be covering the actual shoe, so it like really doesn't matter, right? But other than that, the construction of the shoe, as said by Oree himself, is a Norwegian construction or Stormwell construction, which folds the material inside so that way it's waterproof. As for the insole of the shoe, I believe Ray was saying how he was going for a Dr. Scholl feel, so you already know it's gonna be super comfy. And I can personally confirm that the shoe is pretty damn comfy, especially being a boot. Shoe is actually made in 2 countries, one being Italy, so the upper half is made in Italy, and then you have like the hardware and other finishing touches made in Korea. Onto the sizing of the boot. As for sizing, I got a size 40. That translates to a size 7 in US sizes. Now, per Ray's recommendation, if you are a half size, go half a size down. So using me as an example, I'm a size 7.5. Now, I would have to go down to a size 7, which translates to a size 40 in European sizing. But let's say I am a full size, like maybe a size 8, I would go true to size, and I believe size 8 translates to 41 in European sizing. I tried on the shoe before I even did this video, to be honest with you guys. I just made it look super nice. And it fits really well, it fits super comfy. So my overall first impressions when I tried the shoe before this video, and guys, like, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite purchase from a YouTuber. Like, no cap, like, I'm not even joking, like, and I'm not even trying to like hype up Ray, like, in all constructive criticism and like in all truthfulness. Like, I really like the shoe. Quality of the boot, guys, this is probably like my nicest shoe in my collection over like my bred ones, maybe even just like my bred ones, just because I love sneakers so much and I grew up with sneakers. But other than that, coordinates, I dig that. You won't see it if you wear pants. Oree stamping, I am digging that as well. Very subtle, love the branding, love the look, looks sick. Lacing is actually waxed and does have metal tips, and you know, the metal tips feel nice, guys. Contrasting stitching, it's noticeable, but do I mind it? No. I mean, if it was like a white or yellow, yes, I would say I would mind it, but just because it's like in the spectrum of like being very close to black, I don't really mind it. But I would say I prefer having black stitching. I mean, I could honestly get a Sharpie and color it, so it's not a big deal for me personally. And onto the big elephant in the room. Is it worth $400? And truthfully, guys, I'm gonna be very blunt and honest with you. Yes, I think these are 100% worth it. Considering that this is $400, it's made in Italy, quality is very like good, especially considering the fact that like Ray has never ever made a boot. He did a freaking great job, guys. The combat boot that I was actually trying to get is actually the Common Projects combat boot, and I'm glad I didn't, because those boots cost like $700, and even with a sale, I believe I last time I saw it on Essence, it was like 520 bucks. So for $400 for this combat boot, I honestly 100% believe that it's worth it. Pro side of things, you know, I appreciate that Ray went through 7 to 8 samples to perfect this boot. That just goes to show like transparency in a brand. That just shows overall craftsmanship and like just, you know, trying to like make a product that he cares about, and ultimately other consumers who buy his product has the same amount of care too. You know, and I love the fact that he went with like a trend style with an essential silhouette. And what I mean by that is, now trend wise, I feel like Guidi is coming up, and I'm not saying they're like a new brand, but I just feel like it's getting more popularized now. And the fact that with this fashion cycle, a lot of people are getting into like hiking wear. But I also love that essential aspect where he tried innovating a combat boot. And from a branding, marketing aspect, you know, I feel like he really sold the look. You know, this is literally the Oree brand, you know, like Americana, vintage, New York, hiking. Like he literally nailed everything that he envisioned, which I honestly really appreciate. My rating for the shoe is actually a 9 to 9.5 out of 10. It is not the perfect shoe, and I feel so bad for saying it, because like I really think the shoe is really great, especially being made by someone who isn't experienced at making boots. But here's why. So the number one reason why I feel like this boot isn't a perfect 10 is because of this. Can you guys see that? So like, let's go like this. Like, I am not digging the top view of the toe box. And I know that sounds very nitpicky, and I'm not, you know, giving Ray the compliment that he deserved. Like, I honestly 200% believe that Ray did a really great job with these shoes. I would get these shoes over Common Projects any freaking day. But I just personally don't like how like small the toe box is. And I believe in his video, one of his samples, I believe it was the last example before the final product, that shoe actually had a much more slanted toe part, making it longer. And I was looking at his pair and the pair he showed in his review video. The bigger the shoe size of the shoe, the longer the toe box looks. Obviously, right? Because it's obviously a bigger foot. But it sucks for the people who have like smaller feet in a sense, like me, because it's just like I want to make it look like the boot looks longer as opposed to it looking like shorter and like stockier, right? So like, I'll show you an example. So these are my H&M boots, right? And I know I'm comparing apples to oranges, but okay guys, I don't know if you guys can see that, but looking at both shoes, the H&M pair is a size 40. And like, I really wish the shoe was much more elongated as opposed to like Ray's shoe, which is like more like a construction combat boot as opposed to more like a regular modernized combat boot, if that makes sense. And the reason why I don't like the toe box looking like that is because it makes my feet smaller than it looks, if you get what I'm saying. Other than that, like, that is my gripe about it, I guess you could say. It's honestly personal taste. I believe other people can say otherwise, but if you're really into like that construction, maybe Timberland look to the shoe, by all means, I think this is a perfect shoe for you. But for me personally, if I were to choose any combat boots, I would prefer having like that longer look to the shoe, or that longer toe box of the shoe. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful shoe. Let me go ahead and show you guys some outfits. So that's it with the video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I always try my best to comment and answer everyone and anyone. Let me know your thoughts on the shoe down below. And as always, I just want to say shout out to you, Ray. Great job on the shoe. Like, honestly, it's such a great shoe, especially being your very first like boot. Like I am like blown away with how great of a boot that you made. Also, not to mention the fact that I remember when you answered my DMs about the umplices with me being a shorter guy, and you helped answer my question and gave me recommendations. I remember telling myself like, hey, you know, if I ever start like a YouTube, I'm always gonna do my best to give back, just like how you did for me. So appreciate you, Ray. I can't wait to see all the other Oree New York products that you make. Make sure you guys check out his channel, and please like, comment, subscribe. Your boy's out. It's freaking hot and my neck is freaking killing me. Boy, gotta get that fixed. Peace out. I'm out. Later.